All right, so this is Epic 2. These are obviously the keys for the van, your main key, unlock and lock for your ignition. All of the keys are color coded. In the van there is a list which shows basically all the different keys and what they're for. The only one that is not on this is the orange key, which is for your gas bottle on the other side, which I'll show you in a second. But if we come and have a quick look at the van, the height of the van is 3.3 meters high, and the widest points are the wing mirrors. So you've got to watch those when you go around corner. When you park in a little town, if there's a balcony off a shop or a tree, just be aware that the road camber will mean that the top will come out a little bit. So you have to watch not to hit any trees or awnings. Diesel, if you open this door here, the diesel cap for filling is in here. So you can fill that up with diesel. The van should be full when you leave, and it needs to be full when you return the van as well. Behind this door here there is a little catch, which basically just lock into the door to hold the door open, and then to release it, obviously lift it up and close the door. Be super careful that you do lift that catch up when you close the door, because you can rip this out of the door, out of the side of the van if you forget about it. So down here we have a yellow key, as again on this, opens this cupboard here. In this cupboard here you have a freshwater hose, and you also, pull that out, you also have a grey water hose. The grey water hose is basically what you use to empty your shower and basin. And just down here we have a couple of little levers. You pull the cap off. On the end of this hose is the exact same cap, which you put on, close the levers, and then just above this there is a red plastic tap that just turns to open up, and you can obviously empty all of the grey water. Also at the dump station you will be obviously able to empty the toilet cassette. This is pretty simple. Again, on here it shows you that the toilet cassette is the black key. You lift the little lever, pull the cassette out, take it to the dump station, obviously take the cap off, and when you pour it out you press the green button here, and that's a breather valve. It means that you don't get the splash back as you're emptying it. You empty the toilet, you will have a tap at the dump station, you put some water in, switch it around, empty it again, and then you just put just a little bit of water in it, just enough to cover the bottom of the cassette, and then basically slide it in, and that locks into place. This one here, inside there you have a fresh water for the flush on the toilet. Chances are you probably won't have to worry about that, it's normally full. There is a little, just down here there is a little pipe, clear pipe, and it shows you that it's pretty full. You want to keep it, obviously fill it up to about that level. Okay, if we come around, open the door here, sorry. So the Camec newest key is the one for this door here. When the handle's out, basically you can open the door like so, just like pulling it. When you lock it, that disappears and goes in, and that's how you know that it's locked. So if we open that, just inside the door, literally just around this corner here, you have a pole which will open up your awning. So all you do is come along here and you hook this on, and you just wind it out, and you can wind it all the way up. Now I only use this if it's not too windy. If it's quite windy, you best not to use it. So you can wind it all the way out, and then on here you have a couple of legs which basically just unclip, and you can hook those into here, and they hook onto this part here, just into there, and you can control the height that you want it. So that's just a support, one on either side. Obviously to put it back in, you just put your poles back in. That should actually stay connected to that, so I'll fix that in a second. And then you just wind it back in. Around this side here we have the storage box. Just step back a bit. So on this one, the black key also opens this, the bigger of the black keys. Basically just turn it around so it's upright, and then you can open this up. Inside here you have you don't need to worry about showing in, but basically you have some ramps. The ramps are for when you're at a campsite. You can put the ramps under whichever two wheels you need to lift if the campsite's not level. So you just basically drive forward onto the ramps, and when you're finished the next morning, you drive off the ramps. You reverse off them. Don't reverse up onto the ramps because they will catch the mud guards. But also in here we have some deck chairs and a picnic table. When you close this, the little trick is on this side here, push that down at the same time that you turn the handle. You come around this side here. So we have this red key here which opens your power. So there's just a power cord that is stored in there, and that will just plug straight into the campsite. That will give you your 240 volts. We have a silver key which will open basically your freshwater, sorry, your that's your gas shut-off valves. You shouldn't ever need to really open those. The blue key will open the freshwater tap, blue water key, and obviously you can fill up fresh water at all the places that you at dump stations and such. And then this orange key, which is one that I was just mentioning before, this is the one that opens your 9 kg gas bottle, which should be full when you pick up the van, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. But if you do run out, if you have an extended stay in the van, for instance, you can take it to a gas station, any like BP station, and you can actually just swap the bottles and just keep a receipt, and we can reimburse you for it. So now what we'll do is we'll go inside and show you the inside of the van. Okay, so the key standard just pops in, and as you turn the ignition on, you'll see a glow start that pops up just here. As soon as it goes out, the engine is ready to be started. Okay, so all the lights should go off. Obviously the orange one's showing that the door's still open. But you can see there that we've got the parking symbol for P. It's a Tiptronic system, so basically you put your foot on the brake and you change into reverse, into neutral, into drive. And as you're going down the hill, like a steep hill for instance, and you want to slow down, you can go tap there to go 4, 3, 2, 1. You'll see it change on the dashboard. It's a really good idea to use your engine gears as you're going down steep hills instead of having to use brakes. It's quite a heavy vehicle. But to go back into drive, you simply hold it to the right and it will kick back into the drive again. So I'll just switch that engine off now. If we go across to the stereo system, so this is an Android stereo system. You can connect your phones to it via Bluetooth. If you press the Bluetooth button, and you can hit the settings button, it shows you there. The name is Epic 2 Bluetooth, and the pin code is 0000. So if you go to your phone, you should be able to see it, and you should be able to pair your phone. Then you can play music and such. Also on this, we have a couple of other apps. Z-Link over here. That is for your Apple CarPlay. If you're using an Apple phone, you should be able to connect to Apple AirPlay, which means of course you can run your maps and everything through this. There is a Navi button down here which takes you straight to the inbuilt maps, and that's also obviously another good option for transferring around and knowing where you're going. Yeah, so there's a few other apps on there as well, but they're the main ones that you'll use. Down here we have a little switch that basically turns on your reverse camera, so that can stay on the whole time. It's just a camera that permanently runs out the back, and you can see if you've got any cars or anything behind you. If you do have a long line of queue behind you, then it is courteous to pull over as soon as you can, let all those cars go past and then continue on. The only other thing is when you go to drive off, you've got your handbrake here. If you don't have the handbrake the whole way down and you start driving, the horn will start beeping at you, so you've got to remember to have it all the way down. Otherwise you'll be driving down the road with the horn beeping. Right, so that is everything for the front. We go around to the back. We have some more tables, chairs behind the seats. We have a microwave oven which runs off 240 volts, so when you're plugged into a campsite that will work. Another stereo system just for when you're parked up and you want sounds back here. If we open this cupboard here, that's where you see, as I say, that's where we keep the keys colouring as such. This is your solar panel controller. You won't need to do anything there. The only thing that you're going to be interested in is obviously your voltage, showing you how many batteries volts you've got left. Overnight that will drop down, but it charges up automatically using solar, and also when you're driving the vehicle. These switches here will turn your pumps on, water pumps, lights inside, range hoods. That just basically turns all the power on, and then you can control the lights with switches. If you start using the water and you run out of water, the water pump will keep running. If it does, you have to flick it off, and then you can turn it on again once you've gone and refilled the water. Standard hob. There should be a igniter generally kept on the side here with the fire extinguisher on the side. Down here we have a fridge, which is press a button and open it up. So just be careful on the fridge not to adjust the temperature up here. If you turn that up too high, you'll find that you end up with flat batteries in the morning because that's running too hard overnight. Down here we have all our plates, forks, cleaning stuff. On this side here, sorry, is your forks and such. This cupboard also pops out. There's a few dishes and bits and pieces, pretty much everything that you're going to need. There's plenty of storage all around. There's a cupboard over here for hanging clothes, a couple more drawers down the bottom. This is where the main sort of bed is. There's a ladder that just pops out, and then you can unhook this. That drops it down, and that's your bed up the top there. So you have a mattress topper that you'll put down over the top of this, and then you get a duvet on top and a couple of pillows, and that's your bed basically set up. And if you're only two of yous, you can travel like that, but otherwise you can obviously use it up there for storage as well. When you actually are parking up, talked about the ramps before, but there is also some levels down here, so you can work those to try to get the van as level as possible. If we come around this side to the bathroom, to the toilet, obviously this is a basin that drops down. This is your shower, so as you've got it sitting up nice and high, that's a shower. But if you turn the dial here, you can drop that down the slide, and then it becomes a tap for your sink. Just stand it on off. Yeah, so it just clips back in, and just holds in place with a bit of Velcro just to stop it from falling down. The toilet, pretty simple. Open it up, turn the lever here to open the trap. Obviously you use the toilet. The blue button here is the flush, and then obviously just close the trap. You have to have the sink open, the basin closed, obviously when you use the toilet, but that's pretty much everything you need to know for in there. If we come around to this side, you have the TV, all the controls, remotes, everything are generally kept in here. You'll see here that there is a satellite dish. This is an automatic antenna. If you switch it on and wait for a second, as soon as this light starts flashing, I'll show you in just a second. Yep. Now if you hold the scan button down until that light starts moving across, it should automatically start scanning in a second. So up here we have a whole heap of other cabinets for storage for clothes and such. In this cupboard here we have a couple of little board games and that, but the one that is most interesting obviously in there is your scanning for your aerial for your TV. So TV remote's generally kept in there. You switch the TV on, go to HDMI. If you turn this, press this button here, the power comes on. If you wait for a second, you can then hold the scan button down, and as soon as these lights start moving across, that means it'll be starting to search for the satellite. You'll hear it actually turning on the roof. So if we wait for a second, now if we press the scan button and hold it down, you can see the light starts moving across, and you can hear it on the roof. It's starting to program, and all of a sudden this will start, the TV will kick into action and start running. Just opening these fly screens, basically press the button and then you can just slide them open and just close it, and then you'll hear them click into place. When you're driving, you need to make sure that the windows are all shut because you don't want the fly screens to be blown out. The other thing to check is that when you drive off, all the buttons on all the cupboards are closed. Otherwise, the cupboards will fly open and things will fly out. And also you want to make sure that these air vents at the top, when you go to drive off, you make sure that they're all closed as well. The air conditioning of the cab keeps the van nice and cold, including the windows at the top. You need to make sure they're shut as well. Actually, if we have a quick look down the back, underneath here there is a safe which you can use. The code for this safe is nice and simple. It is 8888#. and that will open up and allow you to use the safe. Just close it and then that will automatically lock itself. The only other thing under a seat that you probably need to know about, just in case, this is your circuit breakers. So when you plug into a campsite, generally you have those turned on the whole time. If they have popped off, obviously you can just pop them back on. There's a couple of other fuses and bits and pieces, but really you shouldn't need to use anything under there. Yeah. If we go to have a look at the bed, so pretty simple. Basically this just lifts up and it pulls out, locks down in place. Little lever just in here, you just basically press that down, and it unlocks the catch, and then this can just drop out and drop down like so. And then this side piece here, they just lift straight up and out, and that's what makes up the final bit here to make up your bed. Then you just put a mattress topper on top again, same as in the front, with a duvet, cover and pillows, and then you're set to go. If we have a look over to this side here, you can see that you've got a control panel. This controls your hot water and your heater, diesel heater for inside at night if it's cold, especially in winter. So it's pretty simple. Just turn it one click, that just turns your water on to just a sort of a medium temperature, but if you turn it up to 75, it just makes the water a bit hotter. If you turn it a bit further, it starts the fan up. If you go one more click, that means your water and your fan is turned on at the same time. And you can control your temperature of your water and such, and the temperature inside the room up and down by just turning this dial here. When it is running, you'll see some vents down here and also vents underneath there. So you just got to make sure that they're not covered, because that's where the hot air comes out, so you don't want to cover those vents up. I think that pretty much covers it.